InnerQuest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Pam Kai Tollefson. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you, Jay.
Pam is an expert in Feng Shui and energy. Pam, tell our audience, what is Feng Shui?
Well, Jay, literally Feng Shui just means wind and water, but it's kind of a collective term for a whole body of work on what makes an environment work and what doesn't. It's rules, if you will, and just general common sense ideas of how people are affected by their surroundings and their space.
So people would hire you to go into their office buildings, their homes, maybe look at their cars, etc.?
Yes, that's what I do, applying some of the basic concepts and then looking at everything individually and trying to customize a space for the people.
And how old is the study of Feng Shui?
Well, anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 years old. It's a very old body of work that came first in India with Buddhism, came across Tibet, and is in all parts of Asia with a little different perspective in each part. But it's a very, very old study, and it has survived all these years. Yes.
Now, most people, including myself, would have assumed that Feng Shui is from China, but if I understand you correctly, it really originated in India?
Well, parts of it, yes. There's in India they would call it Vastushastra. There would be other terms and other emphasis, but it's all very Asian-oriented, yes.
And how long have you been practicing Feng Shui?
Since about 1992. So it's been, 16 years or so.
And how has your understanding of Feng Shui changed in the last 16 years?
Well, I think that it gets simpler. We get rid of some of the extra things and try to get back to the basics. The ideas of the elements of water, wood, fire, earth, and metal seem to be the most important things that really the practice evolves and grows, and we do a lot of healthcare, a lot of different modalities. Residential is still probably my majority, 70% of my business, but it's growing with us because now people know what it is.
Now, you mentioned the 5 elements, and when you go into a place, do you analyze whether or not are some of the elements more preferable than others?
Well, we want a balance. That's the balance and harmony that Feng Shui is talking about. Balance within the elements themselves. For example, if you have a stove, which is fire, across from the sink, which is water, you have a little bit of conflict because, as we know, water puts out fire. So we're trying to balance it with an element in between, which would weaken the water and strengthen the fire, which would be wood. So then we might put a green rug or a plant or something to kind of help harmonize and balance those elements. Plus, every building does have its own energy grid based on the year it's built and the direction it's in. That's getting a little more complicated, but we're still looking for good balance and good chi flow through the place.
Now, we also have our own energy. We tend to have more of, let's say, one element than the other. Would you agree on that?
Yes. I do a chart for every person when I get their birth dates, times, and places of what elements they may or may not need around them. It also tells you the direction that the head of your bed should be in. And that varies, and of course that's the first thing that has to be tossed out, because when you have more than one person in a bed, there's a chance that the directions aren't going to to be harmonized. So we first question is who's sleeping well, who isn't, and that's how we orient the beds. But yes, everyone has their own energy grid based on the hour has 2 elements associated with it: the year, the day, the.
Can you give some examples? Let's say waking up at 6, 7 o'clock. What element is more dominant at that time?
Oh, now you're talking about some Chinese medicine stuff. All I know is that at 2 a.m. it's liver time. 3 to 5 is kidney, and you know,
okay.
And so liver would be wood, kidney would be water, and every 2 hours has a certain element associated with it.
Okay.
So
And my apologies. I thought that was part of
it is part of it. It's a part of it that. That does vary also depending on the year and some of the other energies.
Can you give some examples where you looked at people's charts and you said, aha, I can help this person, or I have this suggestion?
Well, one time I had a little girl's bedroom was, she herself had almost all of her elements in wood. So I knew right away she needed a fiery bedroom. It wouldn't have to be bright red because that might keep her awake at night if it's too energizing. But something pinks or burgundies, something in the fire element to help burn off her extra wood energy. And then later her mother told me that at age 2 she almost had to have a liver transplant, and of course liver is ruled by the element wood. So that's the Chinese medicine part I shouldn't probably be an expert at, but it's very interesting to see how, doing this for so long, you like to customize as much as you can for people, and that's one of the ways that we can do it. So if you're missing an element, we might put that element near you in the bedroom when you're sleeping, or take it to work with you if you're wherever you're spending a lot of time. That's where we want to provide the missing element.
Well, when should a person or a business consult a Feng Shui expert such as yourself?
Well, of course, we like it to be sooner. We'd like it if all the architects knew the rules so that they wouldn't build buildings that had the qi going straight through, or, blockages, But generally, looking at the floor plan is good. Choosing the lot is even better, but sometimes most of the people that call me already have a home or an existing place that they're planning to move to or are in. So whatever stage you're at, we can work with. It's not like in Asia when they say the Feng Shui master comes, be prepared to move. We're not going to do that to you.
Do they really say that?
Well, yes, because when you're dealing only with direction, it's very unyielding. I mean, you can't compromise. North is going to stay north no matter what you do. But the type of Feng Shui that I was taught by Professor Lin Yung helps us to kind of overcome the physical limitations and work on a little higher transcendental plane. So, for example, instead of saying, oh, you have to knock this wall down, we'll just say, why don't you put a mirror or a picture with a reflective glass, or a picture with depth and perspective, so that you can have that feeling that you could walk through the wall, but of course you won't.